Hey, it's Rachel from A Mother Far From Home. Today I want to talk about 5 physical reasons that moms can feel stressed. We often think we're stressed because our kids are acting up, or there's so much to do, or it's so consuming being a mom of small kids. But sometimes we actually feel stressed and unwell for physical reasons, not just because of our day to day busyness. So, the first reason that we can often feel stressed, and I know that this is the case for myself, is that we're dehydrated. So, when we're dehydrated, then we can feel sluggish, we can feel fatigued, we feel physically unwell, and then when we have to respond to the needs of our kids, that can cause a lot of angst. We don't feel good. It's harder. Everything becomes more catastrophic. A one little misbehavior from our kids becomes a big deal. And it's often hard to find time to drink. So any water bottle or do, you can write kind of, if you want to drink 8 ounces a day, you can write it on the side of a cup. I got this cup that once you drink for the day, you can actually take it off and put it on, so you track 8 cups of this a day. So that's one way that you can learn to drink more water. But drinking water is a physical reason you feel bad. Not drinking enough water is a reason that you can physically feel bad throughout your day. A second reason that moms can this almost would classify into the realm of letting things go a little bit. A while back, I started to get a lot of headaches, and this happened a lot while I was pregnant, so I thought it was hormonal. And when I was pregnant, to a certain extent, I'm sure that it was hormonal, but afterwards, I still was getting a lot of headaches, and I realized I was getting headaches on the days I was wearing my glasses mainly, and my prescriptions were out of date, and my contact prescriptions were out of date. So I was spending all day kind of squinting and trying to focus, which was causing headaches. So I went to Pearl Vision and I got a new prescription. I got new contacts and new glasses, and it just made a big difference just in the everyday. And you don't think about this. It isn't that especially if you don't have an eyesight problem. Good for you. But if you do, and you don't have regular appointments set up, or they have lapsed when you got busy, it's so important to keep those regular. So same thing with like the dentist, not to just wait and go in if our teeth hurt. Because I know what it's like when you're home with young kids. You don't want to make appointments because you don't want to have to bring them, or you don't want to have to get a babysitter. But there are some things like medically, we just have to keep up regularly, just because they can really cause us a lot of problems if we don't. A third reason moms can feel stressed and anxious and bad is hormonal disturbance. One of my good friends just recently called because I am a distributor for essential oils, and she asked if she could get some Super B or Super C, some kind of ABC, something, vitamins. And I said, yeah, of course, what's happening? And she had started to experience anxiety, and out of nowhere, not linked to her personality or any event. And when she finally got through to a specialist and they did some tests, her hormone levels were like bottomed out. I mean, she said it was pretty dire, and that the doctor said, hey, no wonder you've been feeling so horribly. So she had to go on is currently on a strict vitamin regimen to get all of her levels back up. And the doctor said she'd probably have to stay on that indefinitely. And hormones are a huge reason we can feel a lot of anxiety. When I was pregnant one time, I was really experiencing a lot of fear and worry and anxiety. And when I was speaking to somebody about it, she said, hormones, they don't lie, but they exaggerate. So if you're already, feeling the stress of motherhood, the stress of parenting, and your hormones are out of whack, you can lose it. That's what you can cause depression, anxiety, aside from just the day-to-day yuck, weight gain, all appetite suppression, or all kinds of stuff. So it's really important that if you feel crazy, that you go get your hormones checked. The fourth physical thing that can cause us a lot of problems is our diet. And I hate talking about this. I'm not a big dieter. I'm not super into health. I mean, I like to cook healthy, normal, real food that grew out of the ground or in a tree. But I'm not kind of super strict about it. That said, I have noticed that my diet really affects me now more than it used to. When I was in my early or mid-20s, it just sort of did what I want. It didn't really matter much. But now, it matters what I eat. I feel yucky if I eat too many things that are filling, or I don't feel good if I don't eat enough vegetables or fruit. So I think just as it is with our children that we want to give them healthy options, it's important that we look at our diet. Doesn't mean we have to go crazy. But if you know that you're not eating the amount of healthy things that you should, it is truly an easy way to start feeling better, is to add in some of these more healthy options to your diet. And the last thing, the physical thing that we do that can cause us stress or relieve our stress is monitoring our cup, so to speak, the metaphor. I did a course a while back, 15 days to a healthier you with Crystal Payne from the Money Saving Mom. And one of the questions she asked was, do you spend your day doing things that drain you, or do you spend your day doing things that fill you up? And when I thought about it, I was like, oh my goodness. I kind of went from our morning routine to our evening routine. I was like, all day I'm doing stuff that personally is draining to me. And I hadn't fit in time to do things that gave me life. Even little things like I used to enjoy spending a bit of time to get dressed or put on something that seemed kind of cute, or, you know, a necklace, a little bit of makeup, nothing fancy, but I used to take a bit of pride in how I looked. And often I can go through phases, months, where every day I don't even want to look at myself in the mirror. And it's not a moral thing. It's not right here or there. But that was something, if I do in the morning, makes me feel good, gives me a little pep in my step. Or even making the bed, cleaning my own room. Of course, I asked my kids to clean their rooms, but I wasn't always even tidying my room. And then coming in there all day long made me feel like, ugh, the room is gross, but I don't have time, all right? So I went through my day and I tried to add in things throughout the day that give me life, which will keep me at recharge. You can't just drive on an empty car. It's eventually going to break down. And ask me how I know, if you don't have enough gas and oil in there, you'll break the motor and you'll end up having to get a job and spend a couple $1,000s to fix it because you broke it, because you weren't maintaining it. And so this is something we really need to do as moms, is not think about taking care of ourselves as like going out for a big shopping spree, but thinking of taking care of ourselves as doing the things that help us to be even keel for our kids.